Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're not just diving into some dry chemistry lesson. Nope, we are on a mission to crack the code of the single most important element for life as we know it, carbon. It's literally the architect of our world, from the fuel that runs your car to the DNA inside every one of your cells. But how? How does one little element manage to do all of that? Well, that's the code we're here to unlock. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's just start with a number. 10 million. Right now, there are over 10 million known compounds that contain carbon. Now, to really let that sink in, that is more than all the compounds from all the other elements on the periodic table combined. It's an absolutely mind-boggling figure, and it really makes you stop and wonder,
What is carbon's secret? I mean, how can one element be so ridiculously versatile? What gives it this unique, almost magical ability to form the backbone of everything from the simplest gas molecule to the massive, complex structures that make up, well, you and me? That is the central mystery we are going to solve today. All right, so we all know carbon is the element of life. It's everywhere. But the first real clue to its secret, it lies in how it connects with other atoms. So how does it bond? Well, this brings us to the secret of covalent bonds. See, for any atom, the name of the game is stability. It wants to have a full outer shell of electrons, just like the noble gases. But for carbon, getting there, it presents a really interesting problem. Okay, so let's walk through carbon's options. Option 1, it could just try to give away its 4 outer electrons. But losing 4 electrons would create this ion with a huge positive charge, and that takes way too much energy. So that's a no-go. All right, option 2, what if it tries to gain 4 electrons? Well, its tiny little nucleus just doesn't have the pull to hold on to all that extra negative charge. So, if giving and taking are both off the table, what's left? The perfect solution, sharing.
And that elegant solution is called the covalent bond. Instead of fighting over electrons, carbon just shares. It shares its 4 outer electrons with other atoms. It's like the ultimate atomic sharing plan. By doing this, both carbon and the atoms it's bonding with get to feel like they have a full, stable outer shell, all while staying electrically neutral. It is an incredibly clever and super stable arrangement.
But here's the thing. It's not just that carbon shares electrons. It's how it does it. This simple act of sharing unlocks a whole set of unique superpowers that let carbon literally build the world around us. First up is a cool word, catenation. This is carbon's amazing ability to link up with other carbon atoms, forming these long, incredibly stable chains, and even rings. You can think of it like carbon atoms linking hands, one after the other, creating the fundamental skeletons for millions of different molecules. That bond between 2 carbon atoms is just so strong and stable, and that is the key to this whole power. But carbon isn't a one-trick pony. It doesn't just form one type of bond. It can share 1 pair of electrons to form a single bond, like you see in ethane, or it can up the ante and share 2 pairs to form a double bond, like an ethene. It can even share 3 pairs to create a triple bond, like an ethyne. This flexibility just dramatically increases the variety and reactivity of the molecules it can build. And finally, superpower number 3, tetravalency. Remember those 4 outer electrons it has to share? Well, that means it can form 4 covalent bonds at the exact same time. A single carbon atom can act like a central hub, branching out in 4 different directions. This is what allows carbon to go beyond simple chains and start building complex, 3-dimensional structures. The most basic example is methane, CH4, 1 carbon atom bonded to 4 hydrogen atoms.
So you take all these superpowers together, and you get an element that can build an incredible variety of molecular skeletons. But here's where it gets even cooler. It can create totally different designs using the exact same parts. Let me show you what I mean. Take a look at these 2 compounds, N-butane and isobutane. Now get this, they both had the exact same molecular formula, 4 carbons, 10 hydrogens. But they are completely different compounds with different properties. Why? All because the atoms are arranged differently. One's a straight chain, and the other's branched.
This amazing phenomenon is called structural isomerism, and it is a huge reason why the number of carbon compounds just explodes into the millions. It's kind of like having the same set of Lego bricks, but being able to build completely different models. It just adds a whole new dimension of possibility. Okay, so we've got these incredible carbon skeletons, but the customization doesn't stop there. We can add special attachments called functional groups, and these give each creation its own unique identity and personality.
The best way to think about it is like this. The carbon chain is a bracelet. These functional groups are the charms you add to it. So you clip on an OH group and boom,
You've got an alcohol, like ethanol. Swap that out for a COOH group, and now you have a carboxylic acid, like the ethanoic acid that makes vinegar sour. Each one of these charms gives specific chemical properties to the entire molecule, creating whole families of related compounds.
So now, let's put it all together. When you combine all of carbon's abilities, the chain making, the multiple bonds, the 3D structures, the isomerism, the functional groups, you get the ultimate toolkit for building enormous molecules. We're talking about the macromolecules, the true giants of life.
Now, a lot of these giant molecules are polymers, and a polymer is really simple when you break it down. It's just a very large molecule made by linking together lots of smaller, repeating units called monomers. It's like building a massive chain out of thousands of identical paperclips. The single paperclip is the monomer, and the finished chain is the polymer.
So how do you build one? Well, that process is called polymerization. Let's take a simple example. You start with a huge vat of individual ethylene monomers. Then, under just the right conditions, the right pressure and temperature, they start linking up end to end, forming a long repeating chain. And the result? Polyethylene, the plastic used to make everything from your shopping bags to water bottles. And here it is. This is the ultimate payoff. This isn't just about making plastics. Nature uses this exact same principle to build the most critical molecules for life itself. Starches and cellulose, they're just polymers of sugar monomers. Proteins, the little machines that run our bodies, they're polymers of amino acids. And DNA, the literal blueprint of life itself, is a polymer of nucleotides, all of it built on a carbon backbone.
So we've done it. We've unlocked the code. Carbon's secret isn't just one thing. It's this perfect storm of superpowers. The covalent bond allows for tetravalency and multiple bonding. That enables catenation, which builds the skeletons. And then isomerism and functional groups provide almost infinite variety. It all comes together to make carbon the undisputed, undefeated champion element of life. We've literally gone from a single atom, simple dilemma, all the way to the foundation of biology itself. It's an incredible story of how simple chemical rules can give rise to the most extraordinary complexity. Which really just leaves one final thought to ponder. After all that, what can't carbon do? Thanks for joining this explainer.